Viewers, look at your screen. What do you see? You see the Indian tricolor. Yes, it is flying high over Galwan. There's no red Chinese rag in these pictures. There's snow on the ground and the cliffs as it should be in the depth of winter. Look at those pictures, viewers. Not one, but several ranks of Indian soldiers proudly holding the tricolor. On a flagpole is the regiment insignia along with the tricolor. What does that tell you, viewers? It tells you that China's lie has been exposed by our armed forces. Not 1 inch, not 1 inch of Indian land has been conceded by our braves at Galwan. Remember, viewers, now, the images accessed by Times Now showing the tiranga in Galwan has been tweeted out by top NDA ministers, unlike the Chinese video. Yes, that fake video on the right of your screens. Unlike this Chinese video that has not been officially put out by anyone in Chinese government. This fact alone proves the falsity of the Chinese claim that it has occupied the whole of Galwan. These are, viewers, congenital liars. And there are several examples, and I listed them meticulously for you yesterday. But viewers, let's juxtapose the two images. First of China's fakery, and then the other one of our tiranga at Galwan. What does these two contrasting images tell us? For that, let me bring in Padmaja Joshi, who accessed these pictures earlier. So viewers, before we go there, let me break it down for you myself. Now, look at the picture on the left of your screens. That is between me and the picture on the extreme right put out by Indian forces. So in the middle, viewers, you are seeing that Chinese video. There is no snow on the ground where the troops are standing. There's some water and nothing on the cliffs. Nothing. Not a bit. What does this tell us? It tells us that far from this being shot on January 1st, this was much before January 1st, because you see, viewers, it's the depth of winter right now. Even the Pangong Lake freezes over. There's not much ground, viewers, where there's no snow. And just look at the pictures on the right of your screen where the Indian Jawans are standing. There's snow on the ground. It's even visible on the cliffs and the peaks. That's just one clear fact that emerges. Now let's look to the other one. The other fact is, viewers, that this particular video that the Chinese put out claiming that, look, we are there at Galwan, we have taken over Galwan, etc., has never been tweeted officially. The Chinese government would have proudly wanted to say that they had rubbed Indian noses in the dirt. They would have tweeted this officially, taken credit. It would have been released by that megalomaniac, Xi Jinping. Contrast that, viewers, with the fact that the video that you're seeing on the right, the pictures that you're seeing on the right of the Indian tricolor have been tweeted by ministers in the Narendra Modi government. We are proudly saying that we continue to hold Galwan. There is just no doubt about it. Now, viewers, let's look at the third. This particular image that the Chinese have put out is on the Chinese side of the LAC, 1.5 kilometers beyond the buffer zone. And yesterday, on this show, Abhijit Iyer Mitra was here and he confirmed this fact. And kudos to him because he's got it absolutely right. Times Now also got it absolutely right. We told you viewers we would come out with the proof. We've delivered. We've shown you the proof before any other channel today. On the right, viewers, that is New Year's 2022 in Galwan, tweeted by our own ministers. Viewers, this debate is sealed. The Chinese lied. Let's look at the fourth one. The fourth one tells you everything. The Chinese, just like the Indian troops, would have been upset had someone crossed over on their side and held up the tiranga, hoisted the flag on the flagpole, which would have been a permanent structure. That flagpole that you're seeing in those images, viewers, with the regiment color and the Indian tricolour, is a permanent structure. It's there. The question now is whether China's echo chambers in India will apologize for amplifying Chinese fakery in India. Let me bring in Padmaja Joshi. Padmaja Joshi, yesterday you staked your reputation. You staked your reputation on the claim that this entire Chinese video was a fabrication. Today you have indicated the proof is out. Just talk us through the circumstances under which those pictures to the right of your screens have been taken.
Rahul, it was very clear. In fact, when we spoke to our sources yesterday, there was one thing they kept saying is that just look at this geography. This does not add up. It is very typical of China. We are going to have the next round of border talks. They are going to do something like this, and this is very, very typical of them. So there were three things that really stood out. One was the fact that this geography didn't add up. Second was, if they're talking about this being the 1st of January, at this time of the year, the whole place, at least the ground, would be covered in snow. It wasn't the case in the video that they had put out. And third, very interestingly, which one person pointed out to me, is that there is one lady in that video that China had put out day before yesterday, where she wasn't even wearing any protective clothing for the winter. Her ears were not covered. At that height, it is so cold that you can get frostbite. The winds are extremely chilly, and here she is standing there, and singing the Chinese national anthem. So all of these reasons, they said, was clear propaganda, which is the reason why they said, our men are there, our posts are there, the tricolour is very much there, and you'll see the actual geography where we've put our troops, and here these pictures show very much what the reality on ground is.
Now, Padmaja, there has of course been a lot of talk from the opposition about seeking clarifications because they said that the Chinese had established their claim over the whole of Galwan. Can you explain to our viewers, what does it actually mean to be in control of the Galwan Valley?
Rahul, we've had an extended negotiation with China. We've had 13 rounds of conversations so far. Now, if you remember, we had a process of disengagement where first, right at the, in the middle of last year, we had spoken about how India had taken the dominating position in the Kailash ranges, from where they had a clear view of the Chinese positions. It is from a position of strength that India then went and negotiated, and in August, they moved back. And then again, there was another disengagement. So when it comes to the Galwan Valley, there is an entire area where both armies have decided that you are not going to do any, that is the area of disengagement that has been marked out by both the sides. And that is how things remain, which is why when you were talking about the Chinese propaganda video, it was well inside their territory. It was nowhere close to Indian territory because both sides have agreed to this. Point number one, and point number two, which also must be underlined, is that all of this propaganda comes out from unofficial sources. Officially, on the 1st of January, Rahul, China reciprocated the gesture of India all along the LAC, where sweets were distributed or sweets were exchanged between the two armies. That was actually the only official engagement that the two countries have had militarily, where it was a cordial gesture of exchanging sweets. So officially they're saying, yes, we agree to all of what has been decided in the border meetings, but from their propaganda handles, they are carrying out these psyops.
And some in India fell for it. Thank you, Padmaja Joshi. This was a big story. You've broken it. You've taken the lead on it. Times Now had these pictures before any other channel viewers today. And that only emphasizes the quality of our journalism. I want to bring in General G.D. Bakshi, and I want him tonight to salute the valor, as he always does, of our forces, but also call out these Chinese chamchas. And I'm sorry I'm using slightly unparliamentary language. Chamchas is the only word that comes to me right now, General Bakshi. It's the only word that comes to me. Because I'll tell you what Randeep Surjewala of the Congress, bless him, said yesterday. He said, why is Modi ji scared of China? Why is he scared of calling out China? Why is Modi government failing to protect Indian territory? Why is Modi government failing to protect the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and protect our borders? Veerappa Moily, why is PM Modi not acting? Is he timid? They completely fell hook, line and sinker for Chinese propaganda. People are doubting whether we can face China, says K. Rahman Khan, former Union Minister of the UPA, Congress senior leader. Rahul Gandhi says, Modi ji, break your silence. Kya ho raha hai? Tricolor looks good in Galwan, being sarcastic. Mallikarjun Kharge, GOI mute spectator as China claims to unfurl flag. All these characters amplified Chinese fake propaganda. General Bakshi, why? Why do you think this happened?
Rahul, I am distressed at the dismal standard of discourse in our democracy. It's not just the alliteration, but the simple fact is, yes, it is the duty of the opposition to oppose what they perceive as failings of the government in power. But the fact is, you must do it with gravitas, you must do it in a way that creates a healthy discourse, you must do it with facts, you must do it with research. There are a number of retired soldiers which they can get to their side to explain to them the military nuances, because I'm very sorry, our political establishment knows next to nothing about military matters. But in this flippant manner, to pick up a Chinese tweet and to go to town with it with innuendos that the Indian army, the braves, are sleeping, the Chinese are walking all over Galwan. They have come 25 kilometers into our territory and built a bridge, if you please. That was the innuendo. For God's sake, what kind of a discourse is this? You are becoming an echo chamber for Chinese propaganda. Now let me make one thing clear, Rahul. Today I want to say it as a soldier. The Chinese army that you are facing, the last kinetic action that they fought was 42 years ago in Vietnam, and they got a bloody nose. Right? They got a sample of it in Galwan. For R-20, they lost 100. And they hid that from their own people. But you can't hide things like this. You can't stifle the sobs of the families. So they are trying to make up by this propaganda video clip. You have shown our photograph. I'll just tell you one very clear giveaway. Look at the ochre colored rocks in the Indian picture.
Yeah.
Ladakh has those ochre colored rocks. It doesn't have those blackish rocks that are being shown on the Chinese video. Just that. You forget the snow. The ochre colored rocks are characteristic of Ladakh and especially of that Galwan sector. Bare. You see, the fact is the Chinese have today, single family princelings in their ranks. They don't want to die, their families don't want to lose a single child. They are conscripted for 4 years. They want to go back in one piece. They are not very willing to fight, right? Chinese know that. So the only warfare that they are doing is biological warfare. The only warfare that they are doing is media warfare, propaganda warfare, psychological warfare, information warfare, non-contact warfare. That is their euphemism. And they want to prevail without firing a shot with the help of some gullible people across who sit in a foreign country and who tweet after tweet that their army is sleeping. They are not.
No, I want to ask, General Bakshi, I think you put it very well.
Rahul, good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. No, is there a motive? Is there a motive to all this?
The motive is
there
to
some
somehow
compulsion?
get at the Modi government.
Okay, so that's the motive.
But
what could be the compulsion
of this dispensation?
What could be the compulsion,
I mean, that's
viewers?
what I see. But is this the way to do it?
I don't know. I have been surprised since yesterday. I didn't believe. Even television channels try at best to do due diligence, and even we get it wrong. So we know when you just pick up things from social media, how dangerous it can be. There is deep fake news masquerading as the real thing. There are deep fake videos masquerading as the real thing. And sometimes, and I have no hesitation in owning up, we have put them out. It comes from various different places, viewers. It's very, very difficult to discern. Now, I'm surprised that the Congress leadership and others in the opposition picked it up. Kapil Madan, who is a top spokesperson for the Congress party, especially its youth wing. I want to ask you, Kapil Madan, people your age are out there fighting this battle. Your age are fighting this battle, sir. You're sitting in the comfort, the warm, lawyer's chamber, heated with nice central heating, etc. Those people who are standing with the Indian tricolour, sir, are standing in minus 40, minus 30 degrees centigrade temperatures. And they are there day in, day out staking a claim. Just imagine, today they have had to give a certificate of their valor in the face of your taunts. Isn't that A, irresponsible, B, isn't that completely unthinking? Just simply asking you this question. You have no faith in our soldiers, sir?
So
do you think Indians would be, do you think Indians would be so cowardly as to let a bunch of 5-foot Chinese people carrying a flag, sir, that commemorates butchery, and allow them to plant it on our soil? Do you think we would have done that and kept quiet?
So Rahul ji, if you're finished, allow me to make my point.
Do you owe an apology? Does your party, your great leader who sits in Italy on a Roman holiday,
so allow me to respond, Rahul ji.
But tweets as if he knows it all. No, I'm asking you, does he owe an apology, sir? Look, I'm not making this about the Congress. We are not bashing the Congress. What we are bashing tonight, sir,
Rahul,
is the lack of faith that certain elements, for political reasons, display in our own Jawans who are battling it out there, sir, in conditions that are forbidding. They are not dangling their toes in a nice hot spring in Rome. Let me tell you this, in some Roman bath.
That's precisely our point is. Our soldiers are suffering there and our PM is acting as a news spectator. I mean, there is not even an utterance.
What are you talking about?
Why this?
What are you talking about, sir? They're doing their job. They're doing their duty.
If you give me...
They are doing their duty, sir, by this country, by us.
Rahul ji, give me 30 seconds to make my point. And then you...
Do you think our soldiers want the warmth
just give me 30
of
seconds.
a Galatian bath?
Our PM is so busy that he cannot make an official statement that yes, there is no encroachment.
No, he has to legitimize your Chinese propaganda.
What is stopping the PM?
You tell me, what is stopping the Congress party from coming out and telling us what is in that MOU that you signed with the Communist Party of China? You first put out that MOU, sir. You put out the MOU. You show us what was in that MOU. What are the terms that bind you to this chamchagiri of China? You show us that.
56 inches chest.
Sir, you show me that MOU. Can you hold it up? Can you show our viewers that MOU, sir? What does that MOU? I want to pull out those pictures, Nizam Bhai, of that MOU signing moment. Let's pull it out. I know it's going to take you about a minute or two, but let's pull it out.
I will demonstrate what
you show me, sir. You show me that MOU. We have shown you the photographs. You show me the MOU now. Show me the MOU.
Rahul ji, listen first. Let me tell you, your argument on the show is mutually destructive. At one point, you say that whatever has been done 1.5 kilometers in their area. In the same breath, you make a point that this video is fake. You first of all, you go do your homework and confirm what you have to say, whether the video is fake or video is original. However, it has been done in their territory.
What is wrong with you, Kapil Madan? What are we saying here? We are saying that this video was not shot on the first. Excuse me, listen to me now. No, you're making some bold accusations. Now you listen to me. I'm putting out 3 points, viewers. I knew that. Look,
the same show.
This lot will doubt your forces. They will doubt your. They will doubt, sir. 1 minute. They will doubt the Supreme Court. They will doubt the media of this country that is sworn, that is obliged to bring out the facts. Now, I'll tell you the facts, viewers. Why is there confusion? There is confusion, number one, because this video, according to top experts in India's defense circles, was shot not on the 1st of January 2022, which is 4 days back, but much earlier. Much earlier, viewers.
Why don't
1 minute, listen to me now. Mr. Madan, listen to me.
Make a statement on this point.
It has been tweeted by the Minister of Law, by several ministers in government.
Are you making a statement on
what
behalf
are you
of the
talking
government?
about?
Are you making a statement on behalf of the government?
They have made the statement. They have made the statement. They have put it out, sir, from their own handles.
You show it on the TV.
These are all ministers who have done so. Okay, now 1 minute. I'm not getting into this whataboutery. The Congress party has today exceeded itself in trying to change the goalposts of this debate. Viewers, let me tell you. Okay, Mr. Madan, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. Sir, I understand it's a difficult position to defend. You will obviously want to divert and deflect. 1 minute. Let me bring in Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, Member of Parliament and National Spokesperson. He's taken an oath on the Constitution to be honest and truthful. Now, I'll come out to you, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. I just want to set out 3 facts. Number 1, viewers, this video, by all accounts, that the Chinese have put out was not of the 1st of January 2022. It was of some other time when the climate was much warmer. It could have been summer. It could have been when they were trying to make incursions. I don't know. Number 2, viewers, it was not put out by the official Chinese government. Yet it was picked up by the Congress party as a gospel truth. Number 3, viewers, on the basis of a fake video, amplifying fake Chinese propaganda, they want Modi, no less, to come out and give a statement. What would that do, viewers? That will show us as insecure, a country validating fake news. Can you believe it? Look at the logic. So it obviously points me only to one other image. And let me put out that image. Here is an image, viewers, of 2008. 2008, viewers. 2008, 1 full year before the UPA went to the United Nations Security Council and lost the case to get the Jaish-e-Mohammed sanctioned. It stood alone. It couldn't fight the Chinese. Now, what is this picture? 1 whole year before that moment. That picture, viewers, is of Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, signing an MOU. With whom? With whom? With the Chinese leadership, the CCP, and look who's standing in the background. The Ustad of the CCP. Who is that Ustad? Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. That is the ustad standing there in the background. That man today is in charge of China and will be in charge of China for the next 30 years till he goes to his grave. Why? Because he's declaring himself a dictator. But Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, I want to ask you to counter the Congress party. They are saying that you have not put out a statement well in advance. You could have killed this entire fake onslaught by the Chinese from one tweet by the Prime Minister. Would you like to respond?
Rahul, I would like to put forth certain facts. That this coronavirus originated from China, and China has declared that only 3,000 people died till January 2020, and last 2 years not even 2 people have died. The entire world, it has got spread. Third, fourth waves have come, but it couldn't travel from Wuhan to Guangzhou and Shanghai. This is the credibility of the Chinese sources and the facts. In the Galwan fight, in hand-to-hand fight, we lost over 20 soldiers. And they were saying they have not lost even one, and not even one was injured, despite the fact of several intelligence agencies giving the figure on casualties from Chinese side from 35 to 65. This makes all the Chinese facts not only suspicious but ridiculous. But unfortunately, those who are sitting abroad on an undisclosed location, doing tweet, having an undisclosed agreement with the Chinese Communist Party, are feeling that this is truth, and to the extent it is a gospel truth. And it is unfortunate when Mr. G.D. Bakshi has said a very appropriate thing. Today, it's not the issue of just a physical war. There is an era of hybrid war in which the China uses to attack us on cyber war. They uses to do a propaganda against us. Even there is a theory prevailing in the world that this can be a biological war. So this entire biological war, cyber war and propaganda becomes a part of the hybrid war. So those who are trying to augment the propaganda of the Chinese, which is being categorically discarded by entire world as baseless and ridiculous, I have quoted 2 facts. Okay. They are becoming the part of the Chinese hybrid war on the Chinese side. Okay. Now I want to know whether they are doing it knowingly or doing it unknowingly.
Okay, knowingly or unknowingly. Let me bring in Ishkaran Bhandari. Ishkaran Bhandari, I want you to look at your screen. In about 10 seconds, you're going to see a visual. You know what visual this is, viewers? Remember, the Chinese abandoned their soldiers who died in Galwan. Yeah, they were a cowardly lot. Even I would not have acknowledged their cowardice. But still, they are your own people. At least claim their bodies, take them. They didn't do it. Now, viewers, they've abandoned their citizens. Where is this? This is Kathmandu. This is China for you. They're not allowing their own citizens to come back, and those citizens are protesting in Kathmandu कि हमें वापस ले लो, हम आपके ही हैं. This is Chinese externed from China because the Chinese state doesn't believe that it owes anything to its own citizens. This is the state we are dealing with, viewers. And I want to ask to Ishkaran Bhandari, under the circumstances that I have explained, and let's go back to those pictures. Nizam Bhai, let's pull back those pictures of our tricolor in Galwan. Was it obligatory on the part of the Modi government to have responded to Chinese unverified videos which were put out unofficially? Simple question.
The Prime Minister of India to unverified source. I think it was not a statement by the Foreign Minister of China or the President of China that the Prime Minister of India needs to respond. It's as simple as that in my mind. And they have responded in their own manner by implanting our flag on our territories, that is the Galwan Valley, और झंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा, वो ऊंचा कर रहे हैं. But the more serious issue here is, Rahul, this, that on such a serious issue as national security, it's the job of the opposition to question the government. But what do we have in opposition? Somebody vacationing, God knows in what mood, God knows drinking what, eating what, sleeping what, when you are on a vacation, and he keeps on piling tweets. That's all he does. That is the tragedy of Indian democracy. A responsible opposition on national security is very important. But we have a vacationing opposition leader, which is the reality we have to deal with. And I have one more thing which we need to discuss here, and that is very serious. see the intent of, and I'm not going into Congress, as I said, they are vacationing people. But the serious thing which India needs to consider is China in 2013 occupied our territory. That was said by the National Security Advisor Board Chairman that time. Then Galwan Valley happened. Then we had firing across LAC on 7 September. Then we banned 200 apps. So the point which is worrying me as a citizen is this. China is doing all this propaganda. That means they have an aim. That means they have a target. And we as a nation, I'm sure the government is taking care of it, but we as a nation need to become ready that we are going into times which are uncertain and dangerous. And we need to trust our leadership. We need to trust our military rather than people who are vacationing and trying to create a mess in India.
This is very important. Yes, viewers, at times like this, you have to be completely aligned to the national interest. Tehseen Poonawalla, why are you creating distrust between the armed forces of this country and the citizenry of this country? Why is the Congress doing it? Simple question. Does it lead back to that MOU?
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you for having me on the show. A happy New Year to you, my fellow panelists and your viewers. And thank you to General Bakshi for his service. I'm going to be brief, but I am speaking under the assumption that like Sudhanshu ji and Ishkaran wasn't interrupted, you won't interrupt me because I have something substantial to contribute. With that assumption, I'm going to make quick points. Point number one. Everybody believes that India has the capability to defeat China. Since 67-68, under the leadership of Indira Gandhi and under the leadership of Rajiv Gandhi, we won 2 wars against China, something that's never spoken about, but we have in Chola and Nathula. But let's come to the issue of today. The pertinent question that needs to be answered by the government of the day is this. In Pangong Tso, at this moment, in their area, the Chinese have built a bridge and are building more bridges, and they're connecting the north and the south pole, part of the lake. Now the point is that this goes against the principle of the pullback that was made on times now and told to us by various MPs of the BJP, including Sudhanshu ji, that no further construction will take place. They're doing that as of now, and we have satellite images of that. Number two, my objection is to, and I agree with General Bakshi, that the Chinese strong point is the propaganda. A small-time official of the embassy, a small-time official of the Chinese embassy questions our MPs. They could be BJP MPs, Congress MPs, they're my MPs.
I don't know.
Questions them on that meeting with Tibet.
This
and
is
the
bizarre.
government of India, I'm not talking about the Honorable Prime Minister,
Can you please?
but the government of India, please don't interrupt me, but the government of India, you are again interrupting. Please allow me to make my point. You can interrupt me if I have made a factually wrong point. Please allow me to make my point.
Two.
A small-time official makes comments about our members of parliament, and the government has not, of the Chinese embassy on the meeting in Tibet. Am I factually wrong on that? And the government could not even respond to that. And to my last and final
Mr.
point.
Poonawalla, let me tell you something.
Easy, Rahul,
let me tell you something. I'm going to bring in General G.D. Bakshi to respond to you, because you have completely changed the goalposts. I asked you a very simple question. You've gone on to Pangong Tso. You've talked about a bridge that the Chinese are making on their side.
Am I factually incorrect?
One minute.
If I'm factually incorrect,
excuse me, don't shout at me, sir, please. You know the facts, because
I'm
the
absolutely
facts
not shouting at you.
The facts have been established
but
very clearly.
You are purposefully
listen,
not
the
putting out the
facts
second
have
part.
been
I said in their
very
territory they're building the bridge. Let your viewers hear this. Let your viewers hear this.
Okay, listen, look, you want to shout? You can.
Please allow your viewers to hear this
listen,
part.
You can
of course,
keep
it's their territory.
All
But
sorts of other things,
the deal of the pullback was there would be no further construction, sir. The deal of the
pullback. Why is the Congress party creating distrust between the Indian citizenry and its protectors on the border? It's a very simple question.
Sir, may I answer your question right now since you interrupted me? Very briefly, in one line. In one line, may I answer your question?
Why are you doing this? On the back of fake,
in one line, may I answer your question?
Chinese,
just one line.
Unverified.
Will you allow me one line?
Unverified propaganda. Yes, you can have your 1 second, 1 line, 2 lines, whatever, 1.5 lines. Say
just
what you
one
have.
line.
Why
just
create?
one line. Please don't interrupt me. Just hear me out.
बोलिए, आपका ही show है.
Please hear me out.
बोलिए, sir.
When BJP, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. When BJP members of parliament, including Sudhanshu ji, have said that the part of the deal of the pullback is that there will be no further construction on whether their side of the territory or our side of the territory. This new bridge has come up. New bridges are being constructed. This is not propaganda. This is the truth. Why is the government not answering that? I'm asking you a specific question. That is a disadvantage to me. My question is, why is a small-time embassy questioning my members of parliament?
Mr. Poonawalla, the Chinese are doing what they have to do to irritate, to provoke. They are playing psychological games.
But
Now,
they're breaking the deal
one
that
minute,
they
can
made
I
with
finish,
us.
sir? Are we so feeble in our minds that we are going to fall for these games? When you negotiate, sir, you negotiate from a position
Is
of
the bridge a
maximalism.
game? Is the bridge a game or is it a reality?
बात तो सुन लीजिए. You always negotiate.
सर आप
from a
बताइए
position
ब्रिज
of
गेम है या सच्चाई है?
maximalism.
हकीकत
The
है या
point
नहीं?
is-
उन्होंने वायलेट किया या नहीं किया?
The point is, viewers, you have a Chinese WhatsApp operation, social media operation that is putting out completely fake stuff. And we are here on this entire issue, but we haven't got clarity. What have we got? Whataboutery. That tells you something, viewers. That tells you something. And I think it's incumbent upon now individuals to ask a basic question. What was in that MOU signed in 2008? That needs to be made public first. Then we can have a longer discourse. I leave it at that, viewers. I'm moving on because there has been another national security related controversy today. The inauguration of an ATS training center in Deoband by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has led